Hi Amil, welcome to Your Knowledge Buddy. And I'm not going to ask for introduction anymore because you're regular on my podcast.
Thank you so much.
So today we are going to start with the topic which is very hot in the UK, which is all about ILR consultation and consultation form. And we know the deadline is 12th of Feb, which is very soon. So today I'm going to discuss in depth about, what is consultation. Let's understand, people understand the importance of it and the details around the consultation form and some more follow-up questions which people have posted in different forums, either on YouTube, Instagram, or LinkedIn. If you don't mind, can we start then?
100%. I am ready.
Yes? Okay. So, Amil, so let's, for someone who's hearing for the first time, let's talk about what is this ILR consultation that everybody is talking about.
Sarika, so ILR consultation is something what the Home Office is proposing that they would like to change the way people used to get settlement in the last 50 years for specific visa categories. So the consultation, it's not just about the ILR, it's about the different permutation and combination, whether it's a skilled worker requirement, whether it's the English language requirement and all those sorts of things. So in a nutshell, ILR consultation is about how they want to change the way people are getting settled in the UK.
Okay. And it's not only about one visa category, it's all about the settlement, whether people settle through skilled visa or whether they settle through, say, innovator, global talent visa or self-sponsorship. It's about the settlement and the eligibility criteria and the process that is being followed today. Right. Okay. So as you know, the deadline given to people is to fill the consultation form is 12th of Feb. So I know you went through the form yourself to go through what questions are. Can you just summarize that form, what questions are being put out there and the importance of it basically?
Too many questions.
Okay.
So because I did the, the consult or the form myself.
Okay.
So I know what kind of question the Home Office have actually delivered it to the audience. So the Home Office have made it very clear that they have categorized the form into different parts, like you need to answer as an individual, you need to answer as an organization or a sponsor as a company, and then there are a few questions for us as well, like immigration advisors who provide immigration services to the clients. But majorly when it comes to about the consultation form, it's mostly to do with as individual and organization, where the Home Office actually want to understand if you are an individual in the UK, how this consultation, how this settlement or whatever it's going to come, it's going to impact you. It's going to impact your family, your dependents, your spouse, your children and stuff like that. As an organization, we just talk about ILR just from the individual perspective, that how Amil is going to get his settlement in the UK. Nobody is asking about how impactful it would be for Amil's company in order to hire people from overseas. So as a sponsor, as an organization also, it is very important for each of the sponsors and companies watching this video. They also need to go through the consultation and raise your voice. Make your voice heard and inform the Home Office what actually is going to be impactful for your organization, for your own firm. So the form is as about the individual, about as an organization, how they are going to be impacted. It's about the protected groups as well, like people on, visa as British spouses and stuff.
Okay.
The bereaved family members of people who have passed away, victims of domestic violence, domestic abuse and stuff like that. So it's a combination of the entire immigration persona what we have in the past so many years, which haven't been changed for a very, very long time. So I'm nobody to comment whether it's good, bad, ugly, but it's for the people to make sure that, you actually pass on the information, whatever you're going to suffer in a good way, bad way, make the Home Office know about how it's going to impact you.
Okay. So when you log in, so when you fill the form, so do you have to ignore the sections that you are not, for example, organization, individual?
Of course.
So you just choose the one which is relevant to you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then also it takes around 25 minutes to 30 minutes for each person to do that. Yeah?
If we just go ahead and tick the boxes without even thinking, then it might take 10 minutes as well.
But
each question has got their own emotional due diligence we need to do.
And of course, the people who are impacted, they feel, and they will have to put down clearly, what is the impact if the new ILR proposal, if it's implemented, how it's impacting them.
Exactly, yes.
So I urge my audience, if you are impacted by the proposal of the ILR which was announced, make sure you fill the form. You still have few days left, and then make sure add as much detail as possible, so that it's not just like a tick box, like a check box, you're making sure you're just filling it. Fill the form to make sure your voice is heard, because MPs will be reading it, and all the feedback will be collected. And again, I don't know if it will be debated in Parliament or not, but definitely all the feedback will be it will be at least read by the government, right?
100%. It would be debated in the Parliament.
It will be debated again in the Parliament
after the consultation is done. Yes.
Okay. So make sure you still have little time. So I'm going to urge everyone to make sure you go and just fill the form and make your voice heard. This is the last time. Couple of days left. Okay.
True.
Thank you, Amil, for explaining that. Just few more a couple of questions around the ILR proposals, because people are still questioning and asking, and they are also terrified, which I understand, because around 1.8 million or 2 million people are impacted. That's what I heard and I have read it, if this proposal is in place, especially for people who are already on their route of skill visa so far. So they were asking, what does earned settlement actually mean in simple terms? They had been asking that, even though it was mentioned somewhere in the white paper what it means. From your understanding, what do you mean, or what do you understand from earned settlement?
I won't be bookish, but as the name suggests, earned settlement, Home Office wants to make sure if you get a settlement, it's like a privilege. It should be earned by a way. So they've categorized the earned settlement into different categories, like your character, integration to the British society, what is your contribution towards the community you are into right now, how much you're willing to pay in terms of taxes, what is your salary. So basically, earned settlement is a combination of the integration, the characters, the contribution, and all those sorts of things, because in simple terms, Home Office needs to understand, if you're getting a settlement, if you're getting a naturalization in the future as a British passport, are you fit for this country or not? That's the underlying thing.
Right. Okay. How will people prove their earned settlement? Like, for example, how you're contributing to your society. People say have already spent 4 years and 6 months already on a skill visa. Now they're left with 6 months. They are bringing this change in midway. So they do start now volunteering and contributing to society, right?
So I have been getting many calls and emails, Sarika, and people are saying, should I start volunteering in the charity right now?
Correct.
Should I work for NHS? Should I do this, do that? I said, see, until and unless nothing has been implemented, you need to sit tight and do nothing.
Yeah.
Because I have seen a lot of people not even taking our advices. They are just doing whatever they feel is right. They are working for temples, church, they are working for community, they are working for charity organizations, which is good in a way. But at the end of the day, if you're doing it solely for the sake of getting ILR, you're not even aware about what is the criteria Home Office is going to set up for that.
True.
So I would just request to your audience who are watching this video, you have to sit tight at this point of time rather than rushing and doing something which cannot be backdated.
Sure.
This is exactly what I did in my consultation in the morning. Don't do something which cannot be backdated. Don't impact your own thing, because there have been a lot of whispers that some borderline cases are going to be helped with the transitional arrangement, which we might cover, in the video. But there are so many borderline cases who are getting the ILR and settlement in the coming months and coming weeks.
So let's talk about the transitional arrangements. So what are those transitional arrangements and why do they matter?
So transitional arrangement is something, let's say if you're already on a skilled worker visa and you're completing your ILR timeline within 1 month, 2 months, or maybe in the next 6 months as well. So transitional arrangement is something that you won't be getting impacted by the new rules. Because let's say even previously, whatever new rules came in July 2025, there were transitional arrangements in place for people who got the COS before the specific date of April 2024 and things like that. So now the people who are getting the ILR or expected to get the ILR in the few coming months, they are expecting that they would be saved by the new rules. Or which might be implemented in April or whatever time the Home Office gives away. So transitional arrangement is an important aspect of this consultation. That's what I believe.
And I think that decision, they need to make it in a proper way, because imagine they say for people who are getting ILR in the next 6 months, you are part of that transitional arrangement. What if for people who are part of who are getting ILR in 7 months, they will feel like, oh my God, we missed it just for a month. Yeah. So I don't know what will be the criteria to decide from when. What is that date they will be deciding? For 6 months, 3 months. I don't know.
But if you see the exact guidance which was published in November, they exactly said if you do not have the ILR, it implements to each one of you.
Correct. I read that.
So I think that line in its own self, that 77 pages do not matter. What matter is what is there in that one line, because that actually clarifies what the Home Office is intended to do.
Yeah. But you never know. We will,
hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah, we will see what happens after the... So what's the plan then, Amil? Do you know, like on 12th of Feb, when the consultation closes, what's the next thing coming or happening?
So one thing here we need to understand when we are talking about the earned settlement or the ILR consultation, because this is one of the biggest change which would be happening in United Kingdom in the last 50 years.
Correct.
So there would be a lot of consultations and debate happening in the parliament, because MPs and the people who are involved as decision makers wants to make sure that firstly, whether there are transitional arrangements or not, people are not getting hurt. Obviously, people are hurt by the talks itself, but actually they are not impacted mentally, they are not impacted financially, they are not impacted in a way that it impacts their life badly. So here what we need to understand that whatever happens, it will take a bit of time. They won't come up in March and say from tomorrow everything is implemented. Maybe by April, maybe by May, after the consultations are done within the MPs itself, or whatever is happening in the parliament, it will take a couple of months, I believe.
Yeah, okay. But with all the recent changes, it may be within days as well. I don't know. I was thinking it will be April. Now, what I hear people saying, again, it's all rumors. People are making up stories. It can happen from next day itself.
No.
They already know what they are doing. Okay, so I think a couple of people are asking, why do you think this government is making these changes? Is it election reason behind it? What is their real motto?
I'll tell you what they have said. Because as individual, we have all our personal opinions which could be shared when the camera is off. But in reality, whatever they are saying that 1.6 million people are being qualified for the ILR from 2026 to 2030. And they have seen that since Brexit or since COVID, we would say per se, after the rules have been relaxed, close to 1 million people got a skilled worker visa, which includes the healthcare, all kind of construction workers and stuff. So now they are saying probably the migration is completely beyond their control. And after the new rules have implemented last year, in the last couple of years, I would say, the migration is coming in control, the numbers are dropping significantly, but they want to make sure the number drops further down the line, because they want people who are already in the country to be benefited. They actually want people who are already on a skilled worker visa, they get the real jobs and things like that. So they want to control the migration, not they are stopping planes at the airport, but they're making sure that they stop the small boats, whatever is happening, and the people who are actually coming on a skilled worker visa rather than new people coming in, people who are already in the country, they get the opportunity first.
Okay. Yeah, so the whole idea is to control that 1.6 million people from not getting ILR, because they're not able to control the net migration, because it's too it's a burden now. They are not able to control,
of course,
because that's creating a lot of pressure on the NHS or the schools or the consuls or other bits, right?
That's true.
Okay, so we again talked about the skilled worker visa, but which visa routes are most affected? Do you see skilled worker visa, student, spouse, global talent visa, or is it just the skilled visa mentioned in the proposal?
I think as far as the consultation or the proposal is concerned, majority of the people would be from the skilled worker visa.
Okay.
Because at this point of time, what they have mentioned, the spouse visa people are protected. People from bereaved family partners and domestic violence, they are protected. They have again mentioned global talent and innovative founder people would be getting the ILR in 3 to 5 years. So these people are already protected. Who will be getting impacted? Majority of the one are from the skilled worker visa route, because the salary threshold is huge, I would say.
Yeah, correct. And I think there was a mention about few categories of people who will be eligible for ILR in 15 and few as well 20 years.
30.
30 as well. I forgot about 30. Yeah. Can you remind me and also my audience about 15, 20, 30 years?
It's a bit technical formula, I would say. Home Office is calculating the baseline ILR as 10 years.
Yeah.
So whatever categories you fit into, it's going to be plus and minus. But their formula, what they have specifically mentioned, it's going to be baseline 10 years plus the penalties and minus whatever, a good impact you have to the society, whether it's integration, volunteer, or maybe you're working for NHS and stuff like that, or maybe you've got C1 English, so because there are so many different salary criteria as well. So let's take a small example. An individual who's currently on a skilled worker visa and he has the salary of, let's say, £60,000. He would be eligible to get the ILR in 5 years of time.
Yeah.
He have got the salary of £130,000, then he'll be eligible in the next 3 years.
Yeah.
But somebody who overstayed, somebody who switched from a visitor visa, somebody who was illegal in the UK, came from a small boat, 10 years plus 20 years, it will be equivalent to 30 years.
Because they did something which was incorrect, right?
Obviously,
there are small boats, illegal, or
switching from a visitor visa.
But they're not allowed to switch from a visitor visa in the UK. How did they do?
I mean, on a visitor visa, let's say, those are the rules out of immigration when you get married to a British spouse and all those things. Yeah. Okay. So those things are quite complicated and are quite detailed to be discussed. But at the end of the day, when somebody, let's say, have got claim benefits for more than 12 months, so the penalty is for 5 years or 10 years. If you have claim penalty for less than 12 months, the penalty is 5 years. So if you see, there are small bits and pieces what they have, because this planning would have happened, long back, because they have seen that how the system is getting exploited. And though we are, nobody to comment on that, but obviously somebody who have gone through these issues from 10 years to 30 years is the timeline what we see as far as the penalties are concerned.
Yeah. Okay. I know we talked about it in one of our live session about what does benefit mean, especially for my audience. For people who got children, they take child benefits. I know most of the people do, because they are not sure. They spoke to consul, they are not sure about it, and they're claiming the child benefit. I believe there will be further guidelines what those benefit means, and whether people who are taking a child benefit and they have consulted, say, with their consul, will that be counted as they should not have been taken, or they should be taken? Do you have any idea on that, child benefits or thing?
This is part of the consultation questions as well.
Okay.
So they have mentioned that, do you think that people who take maternity benefits, people who take X amount of benefits and things like that, they should be given penalties for 5 years or 10 years? It is part of the consultation questions as well.
Okay.
So now everything is based on the fact that, because Home Office also wants to know that what people thinks about it, because you won't be just answering question as an individual, you'll be answering question as a company as well. So you would be mentioning that obviously as an employer, you need to make sure you're going through all the employment laws as well, like maternity benefits, child benefits, or depending on the fact that, because there are so many benefits we have in United Kingdom at this point of time. So it is very difficult to say what's gonna make the mark in the guidance.
Okay. What are the things being discussed regarding the dependents, and do dependents need to meet the income requirements, salary requirements, or something else?
I think this is the most difficult part of the consultation, I believe, because they have clearly said that the dependents, like let's talk about the spouses, the partners. They have specifically mentioned that the respective partners need to have their own amount of contribution in order to get settled for to be eligible for ILR. So let's say if the main applicant is getting settlement in 10 years, that doesn't mean then that the respective spouses would also be eligible for the same. They have to have their own meaningful contribution to the society. We yet don't know that. Let's say we have seen a lot of spouses, they do not have any English language requirement. Some of them are not educated. Even if somebody is not educated, they do not have, let's say, specific skills to work. Maybe we don't know whether they need to meet a specific salaries and things like that. Again, when it comes to kids, they have the child, they have mentioned that if they have a child dependent who's below 18 years at the time of the application, what contribution would you expect them to make in terms to get settled for the ILR? And this is a part of consultation question as well, where they have asked if you feel as an individual, if a child has been admitted into the UK the first visa when they were under 18, how do you think that they should be integrating into the society? Same goes for the dependent. Whether you feel that the dependent should be tied to the main applicant like we have at this point of time. So many questions, and I think it would be difficult for the decision makers as well, because we are talking about people in millions now who will be impacted. So it would be yet to seen. But yes, as far as they have mentioned, they would be impacted hugely.
Yeah, that's true actually. Yeah. That's all I have, Amil, for you, to be honest. We had already done many videos on ILR. We have done live sessions. And I think this is the last video I'm making before 12th of Feb.
Yes.
And then of course there will be further videos for our audience. We'll do live sessions when the consultation is over, and whenever there will be further updates, whether it will be update from the Home Office or from the live debate from the Parliament. We don't know what next, but we'll keep you guys updated. Anything you want to add, Amil, before we end this session? Of course, I know you'll be urging people as well to fill the forms so that their voices can be heard. Anything else they need to keep in mind before they answer those questions, or anything else?
I think apart from that, I'll urge people obviously to fill the forms, but I'll request them to not think politically or economically. Think about the fact that how it can impact the country, because whatever me and Sarika have discussed, it is not our opinion whether it's right or wrong. We are just discussing for the people who want to hear this thing. So whatever you want to do, it's completely your take, and how you feel about this consultation. Some people actually would be supporting this. So obviously that's okay. That's completely all right. But apart from that, I would request the people who are probably to be impacted by this rule, they need to understand that don't do anything which could impact further down the line, because this is not a law yet. It will take a bit of time to be implemented. So sit tight, hope for the best. All the best, everyone.
Yeah, and stay tuned to our channel, because you'll get to hear more updates from us, and looking forward to interact with you guys. And make sure you leave your comments in the comment section. If you want to reach out to Amil, all the details are provided in my description and my pinned comment. If you want to email us, our email ID is ykb@mak25.co.uk. Thank you for watching the video till the end, guys, and we will see you soon. Thank you. Thank you, Amil.
Thank you.